Okay, so let's go into the steps of developing a service from nothing into maybe scaling up. But let's talk about the early steps first. Suppose you want a service of some sort, and first thing you need to do, as with any business, is identify your customer. Do your research, of course. What is their problem? What problem are you seeking to fill? How well can you solve it? Ensure that people will pay you for your service. If there's a problem where people need to cut their grass, but you're dealing with a community that likes to cut their own grass, then they're not gonna pay for you. If you're dealing with a problem where people have to fix their own cars, but you're trying to cater to a community of mechanics, they might not pay for you. So you need to do your focus grouping and your marketing and your surveys to understand what is the desire of the market. So you need to level up your skills, you need to educate yourself. We've said it numerous times throughout this course already. Commit to staying updated on your industry, because you don't have a product you're selling. You can't focus group a product. All you have is your skills. And all you have is the skills of your base. So I would highly recommend you commit to initial training. You want to make sure they're trained up on the current state of the industry and what to do, but you also want to commit to an ongoing education program. Before you even have anybody, before you even have any teammates, before you've hired your first employee, you can start yourself. And the way you do that is by freelancing. So freelancing allows you to start building knowledge. It allows you to start testing your assumptions, preparing your social media and getting that going, starting to build a following. Start slow. There's no reason to rush into it. You want to make sure you do your steps properly. And you don't want to become discouraged if the first several months are difficult to develop a following, difficult to develop your initial customers, because you need to develop your branding. You need to develop your organic marketing before customers will start to come, because once you get your first customer, probably you've fully established your mechanism for getting customers. So that first one will be followed by that second one much faster than it took to get that first one. And be realistic about your earnings. If you're not going to make $1 million in the first day, you probably won't make $1 million in the first year. You might not make enough to leave your other job. And so the transition period is best handled by freelancing instead of just saying, well, I quit, I'm going to go off and make this service business, unless the company you're leaving is going to be your customer. And you can know that before you quit. Set up your business plan with core solutions. We just talked about business plan. And you want it to include your commercialization strategy. So you need to identify your target customer, clear identity of the problem solved, overt benefit to customer, differentiation from competition, and reason to believe you are right to solve the problem or offer a benefit. It's the same in the business plan as when you're trying to convince other people that your team is high quality. You must also convince yourself. You must also be able to identify why it's right for you to do this. Do you have the skills to do it? Do you have the experience? You're going to need to believe it before anybody else does. The process you will employ, marketing plan, speculate about 3 years, do your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat analysis, your SWOT analysis. And then you want to identify your commercialization pathway. So there's some steps to this. The first is a definition of the problem or the opportunity or the goal. Establishing a viable path to that goal. Demonstrates elemental capability. So you have the education and you have the experience. That's key. Maybe you have some money saved up. Maybe you have somebody who will invest. Maybe you, for some reason, have a proper location. Proof of concept implementation. So no matter what you do, you're going to need social proof. So you're going to need a history of having done this. This is why having a community is so valuable. You're going to need to test your assumptions about this service. Maybe provide it for free for a while, and then you're going to have testimonials from the people who you've provided it to. Evaluation of commercial viability, like maybe some people will pay for it, but how many will actually pay for it? And can you reach them in any sort of price-conscious way? So just because some people will pay for it, maybe it's too hard to find them. So it has to be commercially viable. And then, structure your offering. This is a commercialization pathway, so eventually it's going to have to become real. Structure your offering. Your services roadmap. From the time when somebody pays for it, what are the steps that are going to take place for you to implement that service? Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 of providing this service. Set up a website, refine the website. On your website, it helps to offer something your audience will enjoy and find valuable. So, having a link to your blog, having a video on the front page that's informative but interesting, having a nice color scheme, having your slogan, maybe having, I don't know, depends on what you're doing, but definitely a connection to your social media is a start. Put your finances in order and price your offering. So, prepare your budget and decide how much you're going to charge for this service, and determine how much profit you'll make per sale. Determine your break-even point, like how many units of this service do you need to sell in order to break even. Learn your legal requirements. I highly recommend contacting a lawyer, but you need to choose your structure, choose your name, get licenses or permits, get your insurance, choose your accounting system. Set up your business location. Is it physical? Is it online? Explore funding options and identity necessities. Can you find money? Set up your portfolio and get client testimonials. So this is where your first few clients really matter. And why you might consider offering it for free is because their feedback and their testimonials online will matter a lot to future customers. Personally, I think even if you fake your testimonials, it's worth doing. Get people to know you this way, and then people can back you up. So you maybe have your friends give some testimonials. Just a tip. Let's assume you've done this type of service in the past, perhaps as a job. So you can call on those customers. And then you want to implement your operating systems. That's your hiring and training, your workflow, client search and marketing, client management, service delivery, post-service follow-up, financial documentation. All of these are systems that you will employ regularly within your business. In fact, those systems working in conjunction is your business. And you can start them all at the same time or on a scheduled start. And then, getting to know your clients. Must-do number 1 is to discuss why they are hiring you. You want to tell them why they should hire you and ask them why they need a service or ask them about their own experience. Must-do number 2 is to state your rates or decide on a budget. Some clients, some types of business, it's better if they say, well, this is my budget, and you'll say, okay, I'll do what I can with it. But then in that instance, you want to clearly lay out the aspects of that, how you will spend that budget and how much of it will be profit for your company. And then, stating your rates is just showing them the menu. These are the services we provide. This is how much they cost. Only start work with a deposit. If they're not going to pay for it all at once, up front, don't start with nothing. You need a deposit. And when that deposit is almost used up in terms of the manpower and resources you must employ, it's time. You need to be able to show some progress so you can ask for more of that money. You really don't want to do very much work without at least having an increment of it paid for. You don't want to outrun your budget, so to speak. And must-do number 4 is agree on a timetable. So this is when it'll be done. And when you're a service business, being on time means everything. Don't be late. So, and then, marketing your services, don't forget to do that. don't do it alone, and commit. Commitment to the process, because it'll take a long time to get started, but once you're set up, it'll it's sort of like a car that drives itself. So, starting a service business is not as expensive to start, but it's has its own set of challenges. So I hope this information has been useful to you, and good luck.